The Deep Space Radar Station on Luna Base 1 picked up the signal at exactly 3:47 a.m. Earth Standard Time. At first, the night shift operators thought it was just another piece of space debris, one of the thousands they tracked daily. But this object was different. It was moving against the solar wind, adjusting its course with precise burns that no natural object could make. "Sir, you need to see this," said Mark, the lead operator, his eyes fixed on the main screen. His supervisor, who had been dozing in his chair, snapped awake and leaned forward. The object's path was clear. It was heading directly for Earth. Within minutes, the emergency protocols activated. Red lights flashed across every major military installation on Earth and in space. In the International Space Defense Force headquarters beneath the Rocky Mountains, generals and admirals rushed to the war room. Captain James Miller stood at attention before the assembled leadership. At 45, with graying hair and sharp blue eyes, he was Earth's best first contact specialist. He hadn't expected to be called in at 4 in the morning, but here he was, watching as the alien probe drew closer to Earth. "It's broadcasting," announced the communications officer. The room fell silent as the first alien transmission in human history played through the speakers. The message came in perfect English, which was the first red flag. "People of Earth," the metallic voice began, "we are the Watchers. We have observed your species for many cycles. Your violent nature and rapid technological advancement pose a threat to galactic peace. Submit to our guidance or face the consequences of your defiance." Admiral Rogers, the head of ISDF, looked at Miller. "Captain, you're our expert. What do you make of this?" Miller stepped forward, his face illuminated by the holographic display showing the probe's approach. "They've been watching us, sir, long enough to learn our languages. But they made a crucial mistake." He pointed to the probe's trajectory. "They're showing their hand too early. If they really knew us, they'd know that humans don't respond well to threats." The room buzzed with murmured agreement. Humanity had united after discovering the first signs of alien surveillance decades ago. The world's nations had put aside their differences, pooling their resources into defense and space technology. They had kept their most advanced developments hidden, preparing for exactly this kind of situation. "They're expecting us to be primitive savages or scared children," Miller continued. "They don't know about Luna Base 1's plasma cannons, or the Titan defense grid, or Project Nightshade." A small smile played across his face. "They don't know that we've been ready for them for years." Admiral Rogers nodded and pressed a button on his command console. "All stations. This is Control. Initiate Protocol Omega. But remember, we play dumb for now." Across the solar system, hidden weapon systems powered up, their existence unknown to the alien observers. Stealth satellites shifted positions. On Mars, underground bunkers activated their defense systems, but on the surface, everything appeared normal. The probe entered Earth orbit, positioning itself over the North Atlantic. It waited, obviously expecting Earth's surrender. Instead, Captain Miller transmitted humanity's response. "To the Watchers, we hear your message. We receive your judgment of our species. We have only one response." He paused, looking around the room at Earth's unified military command. Every face showed the same determination. "No." The probe's response was immediate. "Your defiance is noted. A demonstration of our power will follow. Know that what comes next is a consequence of your choice." Miller turned to Admiral Rogers. "Sir, they're going to attack. Probably something symbolic, to scare us into submission." "Let them think we're helpless," Rogers replied. "Let them think we're afraid. When they show their real strength, when they think they have us cornered, that's when they'll learn the truth." The probe's message continued. "We have watched your wars, your conflicts, your endless fighting. We have seen your nuclear weapons, your biological agents, your hatred for your own kind. We come to prevent you from bringing this violence to the stars." Miller laughed softly. "They watched our wars but didn't understand their most important lesson. "And what's that, Captain?" asked Rogers. "That humans fight hardest when someone tries to take their freedom." Miller straightened his uniform. "They think they're giving us our final warning. But really, we're about to give them theirs." The probe began to move, repositioning itself for what would come next. In underground bunkers and hidden bases across Earth and throughout the solar system, humanity's defenders prepared for the real war. The Watchers thought they were dealing with a primitive, violent species that needed to be controlled. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. 3 hours after Earth's refusal to surrender, the Watchers launched their first attack. Their target wasn't Earth. It was the Mars Colony Complex in Valles Marineris, the largest human settlement on the Red Planet. "Multiple energy signatures detected," shouted the radar operator at Mars Defense Command. "They're coming in hot." The attack was quick and brutal. 4 alien ships appeared from nowhere, their weapons already firing. Green beams of energy sliced through the colony's outer domes. Emergency shields activated, but they weren't fast enough. Within minutes, 300 colonists were dead. Back on Earth, Admiral Rogers watched the footage with a grim face. The massive screen in ISDF headquarters showed the destruction in real time. Next to him, Captain Miller clenched his fists. "They targeted civilians," Miller said quietly. "They really don't understand us at all." Admiral Rogers pressed a button on his desk. "Get me Admiral Thomas Smith. Now." The screen split, showing a tall man with white hair and a scared face. Admiral Smith ran Earth's most secret weapons program, hidden so deep that even most of ISDF didn't know about it. "It's time," Rogers said simply. Smith nodded. "I'll be there in 30 minutes. Prepare the war room." While they waited, Miller studied the Mars attack footage. The alien ships had appeared and disappeared too quickly for the colony's regular defenses. But he noticed something interesting: a slight distortion in space just before each ship appeared. "They're using some kind of jump drive," he said to Rogers. "Short-range teleportation, maybe. But look here." He pointed to a frame showing a faint ripple effect. "There's a warning sign before they appear." Rogers smiled for the first time since the attack. "Good eye, Captain. That's exactly the kind of weakness we've been preparing for." Admiral Smith arrived exactly on time, carrying an old-fashioned briefcase. The war room filled with Earth's top military leaders as he connected his secure tablet to the main display. 50 years ago, Smith began, we detected our first sign of alien surveillance. A tiny probe, barely visible to our best telescopes, watching Earth from just beyond the moon's orbit. We destroyed it, of course, but we kept it secret. Why? He looked around the room. Because we knew others would come. The screen showed images of more probes, discovered and secretly destroyed over the decades. Every time we found one, we learned more. We reverse-engineered their tech. We prepared our defenses. And we kept everything hidden behind a screen of normal technological progress. Miller leaned forward. The Mars colony shield failure. It wasn't a failure at all. Was it? No, Smith confirmed. Those shields were a decoy. The real defenses are much stronger. But we needed the Watchers to think their attack succeeded. Now they believe their weapons can easily penetrate our defenses. The display changed, showing a massive underground facility beneath the Martian surface. While they were busy destroying our decoy domes, we were scanning their ships, analyzing their weapons, and uploading their tactical data to our defense network. The colonists who died, someone began, are alive and safe, Smith assured them. The dead colonists were holograms. The real colonists were evacuated to the underground bunkers the moment we detected the alien probe entering our system. We've been practicing these drills for years. Rogers stood up. Now you all understand why the secrecy was necessary. The Watchers think they just taught us a harsh lesson. They expect us to be scared, demoralized, maybe even ready to surrender. His voice hardened. Instead, they just gave us exactly what we needed: combat data on their ships and weapons. Miller studied the technical readouts on the screen. Earth's hidden technology was far more advanced than he'd imagined. The public military bases, the visible defenses, they were all for show. The real power lay hidden, waiting. "How long have we been ahead of them?" he asked quietly. Smith's face showed pride. "In some ways, we're still behind. Their faster-than-light travel is better than ours. Their energy production is more efficient. But in weapons, shields, and stealth technology," he smiled, "let's just say they're in for a surprise." The room fell silent as Rogers brought up the final display. A map of the solar system showing hundreds of hidden defense installations, cloaked ships, and weapon platforms. "The Watchers think they just showed us the price of defiance," Rogers said. "It's time to show them the cost of underestimating humanity." Commander Anna Wells stood in the control room of Jupiter Station Echo, a facility that officially didn't exist. The massive window in front of her showed Jupiter's great red spot swirling below. But she wasn't looking at the giant planet. Her eyes were fixed on the tactical display showing 5 Watcher warships approaching Mars. "They took the bait," she said into her comm unit, "just as we predicted." After their successful first attack, the Watchers had gathered a larger fleet for what they believed would be a crushing blow to human morale. Their ships were impressive, each one nearly a mile long, bristling with weapons that could crack a planet. "Ghost Shield stations report ready," her second-in-command reported. "All personnel are in position." Wells nodded. "Send the signal. Operation Ghost Shield is now active." Across the solar system, hidden installations powered up. What looked like empty space between planets suddenly rippled as massive energy fields activated. The quantum stealth network, humanity's greatest secret weapon, was finally revealing itself. In the ISDF command center on Earth, Admiral Rogers watched with satisfaction. "Send the message," he ordered. Captain Miller's voice carried across all frequencies. "Attention, Watcher Fleet. You should have watched more carefully." The alien ships suddenly stopped. Their sensors must have finally detected the massive human fleet that had been hiding in plain sight. 300 Earth warships decloaked, surrounding the Watcher fleet. Behind them, massive defense platforms emerged from their quantum stealth fields, weapons already charged. The Watcher commander's response came quickly. "Impossible. Our surveillance showed no signs of these capabilities." "That's because we didn't want you to see them," Wells replied from Jupiter Station. She pressed a button, and more ships appeared, this time from behind Jupiter's moons. "For 50 years, you watched what we wanted you to watch. You saw what we wanted you to see." The alien ships tried to retreat, but found themselves trapped in a web of gravitational distortion fields, another technology Earth had kept hidden. Their advanced sensors, which had seemed so superior, were being jammed by systems they didn't even understand. "Your ships are now trapped in a quantum lock," Wells explained calmly. "You can't jump away, you can't fire weapons, and you can't send messages to your fleet. But don't worry, we're not going to destroy you." In the command center, Miller raised an eyebrow at Rogers. "We're not." Rogers shook his head. "We're going to educate them instead." He opened a channel to the trapped ships. "You came here thinking you found a violent, primitive species that needed to be controlled. Instead, you found something else, a unified humanity that has spent half a century preparing for this moment." The main screen showed the Watcher ships trying desperately to break free. Their weapons fire dissipated harmlessly against shields they couldn't even detect. Their advanced engines strained against forces they didn't understand. "Ghost Shield Phase 2, Wells commanded. Around every planet in the solar system, more installations appeared. Defense platforms larger than cities emerged from their quantum stealth fields. Shipyards holding thousands more warships revealed themselves in the asteroid belt. The true scale of humanity's preparation became clear. "By now, your sensors are telling you what we want you to know," Rogers continued. "Earth isn't defended by a few colonies and some basic shields. We have fortified our entire solar system, every planet, every moon, every significant asteroid, All of them are armed and ready. The Watcher commander's voice had lost its arrogance. How? Our surveillance was perfect. We saw everything. Wells laughed softly. No, you saw our surface, our decoys, our public face. Real human progress happened in the shadows, hidden by technology you didn't even know was possible. The tactical display showed more Watcher ships arriving at the edge of the solar system. But they didn't advance. They could see their trapped comrades, surrounded by humanity's revealed power. Here's what happens next, Rogers announced. You're going to leave. You're going to tell your leaders what you found here. And you're going to understand one very important truth. Humanity wasn't hiding because we were weak. We were hiding because we were getting ready. Wells watched as the gravitational fields released the Watcher ships. They'd retreated quickly, their once proud formation now scattered and disorganized. Should we follow them? Miller asked. Rogers smiled. No need. They'll be back, probably with a bigger fleet. But that's exactly what we want. He looked at the display showing Earth's revealed strength. Because now they know that we're ready. And they still haven't seen everything we can do. Commander Robert Wilson stood on the bridge of the Earth ship Defiance, watching as his fleet prepared to make history. They were about to become the first human ships to use faster-than-light travel in combat. All ships report ready, his AI assistant, HFY, announced. FTL drives charged to 100%. The fleet consisted of 50 ships, each carrying humanity's most advanced weapons. They had been hidden in quantum storage facilities around Saturn, waiting for this moment. Now, after the Watchers' retreat, it was time to take the fight to them. Start the hack, Wilson ordered. HFY's hologram flickered as she connected to the vast network of AI systems Earth had secretly developed. They had captured the Watchers' communication frequencies during the last battle. Now those same frequencies would be their highway into the alien network. Their security is complex, HFY reported, her voice calm. But it's exactly what we expected. They rely too much on automation. Beginning infiltration. On the main screen, streams of data flowed as Earth's AI systems worked their way into the Watcher network. The aliens had built their empire on advanced technology, but they had never faced human-made AI systems designed specifically to break their defenses. First target located, HFY announced after 10 minutes. Watcher outpost in the Proxima Centauri system. Their defenses are already compromised. Wilson nodded. Send the coordinates to the fleet. All ships, prepare for FTL jump. The engines hummed as the human fleet prepared for their first faster-than-light journey. Earth had reverse-engineered this technology from studying Watcher ships, then improved it in ways the aliens hadn't thought possible. Jump in 3, 2, 1. The stars blurred, and Wilson felt a moment of disorientation. When his vision cleared, a red dwarf star burned ahead of them, Proxima Centauri, and orbiting it was a massive Watcher installation. Their systems are blind, HFY reported with satisfaction. Our virus has disabled their sensors. They don't see us coming. Wilson opened a channel to the fleet. Remember, minimal casualties. We're not here for revenge. We're here to show them who they're really dealing with. The Earth ships decloaked right above the Watcher base, but instead of opening fire, they launched special pods, boarding craft carrying Earth's best troops and combat AIs. Sir, his tactical officer called out, we're picking up strange readings. There are other ships hidden near the base. But they're in cages. Wilson frowned. Show me. The screen displayed what looked like a massive space prison. Dozens of ships from different alien species were held in energy fields. None of them matched known Watcher designs. HFY, can you access their database? The eye was quiet for a moment. Yes. Commander, the Watchers have been doing this for centuries. They find developing civilizations, judge them as too violent, and then either enslave them or force them into submission. Wilson's face hardened. So we're not the first. We're just the first to fight back effectively. He opened a channel to Earth. "Admiral Rogers, are you seeing this?" "We see it," Rogers replied. "Looks like our mission just got bigger. Free those ships. Show them humanity didn't just come to defend itself. We came to help others too." The Earth troops were already inside the Watcher base. Thanks to their combat AIs and advanced tech, they met little resistance. The Watchers had grown too dependent on automated defenses, never expecting anyone to bypass them completely. "Prison controls located," Araya reported. "Releasing the captured ships now." One by one, the energy cages disappeared. The freed ships floated in space, their crews probably confused and scared. Wilson opened a broadcast channel in all known frequencies. "To the freed ships, we are humans from Earth. We came to stop the Watchers, and we found you instead. You are now free." Responses came in various languages, which ARIA quickly translated. They all shared the same tone: gratitude, disbelief, and hope. "Sir," his tactical officer reported, "I'm detecting more Watcher bases in nearby systems. They have the same prison setup." Wilson smiled grimly. "Then we have more work to do." He turned to his crew. The Watchers thought they were containing violent species. Instead, they'd been collecting allies for Earth. "Send word to Admiral Rogers. We're going to need more ships." As the freed alien vessels approached the Earth fleet, Wilson realized this was just the beginning. The Watchers hadn't just made a mistake in attacking Earth. They had accidentally created something they feared even more: a coalition of species united against their tyranny. And humanity would lead the charge. Major Lisa Black watched from her command post as 3 different alien fleets practiced combat maneuvers alongside Earth ships. Just 2 weeks after freeing the first prisoners, humanity had gained powerful allies in their fight against the Watchers. "The Solarians have mastered our shield technology," her tactical officer reported. The Solarians, a species of energy beings, had been the first race they freed. Their ships glowed like miniature suns. Next to them, the crystalline vessels of the Nexus race sparkled in the starlight. They had been imprisoned for over a century, their crime being the development of advanced mining technology that the Watchers deemed too dangerous. The third fleet belonged to the Dendrons, whose organic ships could heal themselves. The Watchers had feared their rapid evolution and attempted to stop their progress. All 3 species report ready for the next liberation mission, Araya announced. The AI had been upgraded to handle communication between the Allied fleets. Lisa nodded. "Show me the target." A hologram appeared, displaying a massive Watcher fortress station. Unlike the first outpost they'd freed, this one was fully alert and heavily defended. "The Watchers have changed their security protocols," Araya reported. "They're reducing their reliance on automated systems. They're learning." Lisa smiled. "But not fast enough. Begin Operation Avalanche." The combined fleet moved into position. Earth ships took the lead, their advanced stealth systems still superior to anything the Watchers had. The Solarian ships positioned themselves behind Earth's fleet, charging their energy weapons. The Nexus vessels spread out in a crystalline formation that would amplify their combined shield strength. The Dendron organic ships moved to the rear, ready to provide repair and support. "The Watchers are broadcasting," Araya announced. "They're threatening to execute their prisoners if we attack." "Send them our response," Lisa ordered. On all frequencies, in every language the Watchers might understand, Earth's message played. "Your empire of fear ends today." The battle began. Earth ships launched their first strike, using AI-guided precision weapons to target the fortress's main weapon systems. The Watchers returned fire, but their shots scattered harmlessly against the combined Nexus crystal shields. "Now," Lisa commanded. The Solarian ships released massive energy bursts, their solar-powered weapons burning through the fortress's outer defenses. In the gaps they created, Earth's boarding pods shot through, carrying mixed teams of human and alien warriors. "Detection systems offline," Araya reported. The dendron ships are releasing their spores. Organic particles floated through space, attaching to the fortress's hull. The dendrons had evolved these spores specifically to disrupt Watcher technology, turning the station's own metal against it. Inside the fortress, the liberation teams moved swiftly. Humans provided tactical leadership and AI support, while their alien allies brought their unique abilities to the fight. The Watchers, faced with opponents they couldn't predict or control, began to retreat. Prison block located, Araya announced. 5 different species detected in containment, all alive. Lisa opened a channel to all teams. Primary objective is prisoner safety. Secondary objective is data capture. The Watchers are not our main target. Their control system is. The battle lasted less than an hour. When it ended, the Watcher fortress had been captured intact, its prisoners freed, and its databases downloaded. More importantly, they'd proven that the combined fleet could take on even the strongest Watcher defenses. "Ma'am," her tactical officer called out, "the freed species are requesting to join our coalition." Lisa turned to the hologram showing representatives from each newly liberated race. One looked like a living cloud, another appeared to be made of liquid metal, and the others were equally diverse. But they all shared the same look of determination. The Watchers tried to stop our progress because they feared what we might become, the liquid metal being said. Humanity has shown us a better way. Not control through fear, but cooperation through respect. "We don't seek to rule," Lisa replied. "We only want to ensure that every species has the right to develop in their own way." Araya's hologram flickered with new data. "Major, I'm detecting distress signals from 12 other Watcher facilities. Word of our victories is spreading. Imprisoned species are beginning to resist." Lisa smiled. "Then we'd better not keep them waiting." She turned to her crew. "Send word to Earth. Tell them Operation Avalanche is a success. The real revolution is about to begin." The combined fleet regrouped, stronger now with its new allies. The Watchers had spent centuries building their empire of fear and control. They never imagined that by attacking Earth, they would create something far more powerful. A coalition of free species, led by humanity, dedicated to liberation. And this was just the beginning. Admiral Smith stood in Earth's main command center, watching as thousands of Watcher ships appeared at the edge of the solar system. After 3 months of liberating their slave worlds, humanity had finally provoked the response they'd been waiting for, the Watchers' main fleet. 10,000 enemy ships detected, Araya reported, her hologram displaying the massive armada. They're deploying in attack formation. But Smith wasn't worried. In fact, he smiled. "Send the signal. Activate Project Phoenix." Deep beneath the surface of Mercury, hidden factories that had been running for decades powered up. The planet's core itself served as their power source, feeding energy into humanity's greatest weapon. "All Allied fleets report ready," his tactical officer announced. The combined fleet of Earth and its liberated allies had gathered to defend humanity's home. 3,000 ships from Earth, 2,000 Solarian energy vessels, 1,500 Nexus crystal ships, 1,000 Dendron organic cruisers, and hundreds more from recently freed species. "The Watchers are broadcasting," Araya said. The alien commander's voice filled the room. "You have disrupted the natural order. You have spread chaos through the galaxy. This ends today." Smith pressed a button, opening a channel to all ships. "Remember the plan. Let them think they're winning, until they're not." The battle began. The Watcher fleet advanced, their weapons turning space itself into a storm of energy. Earth's allies fought back, but seemed to struggle against the overwhelming numbers. "They're pushing through our defenses," someone reported. "Good," Smith said calmly. "Let them get closer to Mercury." The Watchers pressed their advantage, clearly believing they were witnessing humanity's last stand. Their ships moved deeper into the solar system, focusing their fire on Earth's fleet. Casualties reported on multiple ships, Araya announced. "The Watchers are targeting our command vessels." Smith checked the tactical display. The enemy fleet was almost in position. Send the order to Commander Wilson. Begin Phase 2. Suddenly, the human fleet's tactics change. Ships that seemed damaged revealed they were perfectly fine. Vessels that appeared to be retreating turned and attacked. The allies that seemed to be losing formed new formations. What? The Watcher commander's confusion was clear. Your ships were heavily damaged. No, Smith replied. We just wanted you to think that. He turned to his crew. Activate Project Phoenix. Now. Mercury's surface cracked open. From within the planet, massive rings of energy rose into space, each 1 mile wide. They were quantum gates, the largest ever built. By the void, the Watcher commander gasped. What have you done? The rings activated. Through them came humanity's reserve fleet, 50,000 ships that had been hidden in quantum space. But these weren't ordinary vessels. Each one was controlled by a human-AI partnership, combining human creativity with machine precision. You watched us for 50 years, Smith broadcast to the enemy fleet. You saw our wars, our conflicts, our struggles. But you missed the most important lesson. Humans are at their most dangerous when they're preparing for a fight they know is coming. The quantum gates fired again. This time, they released swarms of automated drones, each one carrying advanced AI systems designed to hack and disable Watcher technology. The enemy fleet found itself surrounded. Their automated systems began to fail as Earth's AIs took control. Their advanced weapons were turned against them. Their formations broke apart as quantum fields disrupted their communications. Final warning, Smith announced. Surrender now or face complete defeat. The Watcher commander's response was defiant. We will not bow to savages. Smith sighed. We're not savages. We're humans, and we gave you a chance. He turned to ARIA. Show them what Project Phoenix can really do. The quantum gates pulsed one last time. The space around the Watcher fleet lit up with countless small points of light, quantum anchors that locked their ships in place. You relied too much on technology, Smith explained. You forgot that tools are only as good as the minds that use them. Humanity never forgot that lesson. The battle that followed wasn't really a battle, it was a demonstration. Earth's human hybrid fleet systematically disabled the Watcher ships one by one. Not destroying them, but stripping them of their ability to fight. In less than an hour, the mighty Watcher armada hung powerless in space. Their empire of fear, built over centuries, had been undone by the very species they had tried to subjugate. Send word to all Allied fleets, Smith ordered. The war is over. The liberation can begin. The quantum gates slowly powered down, their work finished. Humanity had not just defended itself, it had changed the galaxy forever. And Project Phoenix, like the mythical bird it was named after, had helped birth a new era from the ashes of the old. 1 month after the final battle, representatives from over 50 alien species gathered in Earth's new galactic assembly. The massive structure floated in orbit, its crystal walls showing the planet below, a symbol of humanity's rise from a watched species to a galactic protector. Admiral Rogers stood at the central podium, looking at the diverse gathering. The Solarians glowed softly in their containment fields. The crystalline Nexus delegates sparkled under the lights. Dendron representatives shifted their organic forms. Dozens more species, each unique, each recently freed from Watcher control, waited for humanity's message. The last Watcher stronghold surrendered yesterday, Rogers announced. Their empire is officially over. A cheer went up from the assembled species. Some expressed joy through light patterns, others through chemical signals, but the feeling was universal. Freedom. Captain Miller, now promoted to commander, stood next to an active hologram showing the galaxy. Different colors highlighted the former Watcher territories, now free regions. But this gathering isn't about celebrating their defeat, Miller said. It's about what comes next. The hologram zoomed in on Earth's solar system, showing the quantum defense network that had helped win the war. But now, these same installations were being converted for peaceful purposes. Humanity developed these technologies in secret because we had to, Rogers continued. We knew someone was watching, judging, waiting to decide if we were too violent to join the galactic community. The Watchers saw our conflicts and decided we needed to be controlled. He paused, looking at each delegation. They were wrong. They were wrong about us, and they were wrong about all of you. They saw violence and feared it. They saw development and tried to stop it. They saw strength and tried to cage it. The hologram shifted, showing scenes from the recent war, but not scenes of battle. Instead, it showed humans and aliens working together, Earth ships protecting alien civilians, combined fleets sharing resources and knowledge. Today, we send a message to any other Watchers out there, Rogers declared. Any other species that thinks they can judge who deserves to be free. This is humanity's final warning. We're ready, and we're waiting. Aria's hologram appeared, now upgraded to serve as Earth's primary diplomatic AI. The defense network is being reprogrammed. It will now serve as an early warning system for all member species. If anyone tries to do what the Watchers did, we'll know. Commander Wilson stepped forward. But we're not here just to protect. Earth is opening its universities, its research centers, its training facilities to all species. We won't hold back technology out of fear, like the Watchers did. We'll help each species develop in their own way, at their own pace. Major Black, who had led many liberation battles, addressed the gathering next. We're establishing the Galactic Defense Coalition, not to control, but to protect. Any developing civilization that needs help will find friends here, not masters. The hologram showed new construction projects throughout the galaxy, joint research stations, trading posts, cultural exchange centers. The Quantum Gate network was being expanded, but now to connect allies rather than hide ships. Humanity's message is simple, Rogers said. We prepare for the worst but hope for the best. We build strong defenses not to cage others, but to protect freedom. We develop technology not to control, but to connect. He gestured to the Earth below. Look at our world. We fought our own wars. We faced our own challenges. We made mistakes and learned from them. That's what growing civilizations do. The Watchers thought this made us dangerous. They were right, but not in the way they thought. The assembled species watched as the hologram showed Earth's history, from its first steps into space to its current position as a galactic leader. We're dangerous to tyrants, dangerous to those who would suppress freedom, dangerous to anyone who thinks they can judge which species deserves to exist freely. Rogers' voice carried his final message to the stars themselves. To any watching us now, know this: Earth is no longer the watched. We are the Watchers. We stand ready to defend any species that needs protection. We wait to welcome any civilization that wants to join us as equals. And we warn any who would follow in the Watchers' footsteps. Humanity remembers, humanity prepares, and humanity protects. That is our final warning and our eternal promise. The assembly erupted in approval. A new age had begun, not one of fear and control, but of freedom and cooperation. And at its heart stood humanity, no longer hiding, but leading the way to a better galaxy.